Hello to my regulars and to new visitors. Welcome to Hit the Mahogany. It's that time of year. The fall's coming in. People are out apple picking. What do you think about apple pie as well? What are all those spices that come in there as well? All those things that you can think of that remind you of the fall, or in other parts of the world, autumn. So on this episode of Hit the Mahogany, we are going to be doing a cider lowball. Now, cider here in the US is really actually, okay, you can get alcoholic versions of cider, but generally cider is really thought of as just apple juice. And this is it here. Unfiltered apple juice. Unfiltered, it's clear. Basically, it's just pressed apples and you don't do much else to it. You don't bastardize it in any other way. Nice, it looks like a little shot here. Let me just taste this. It's very appley. But generally what I find with this is actually pasteurised apple juice as well. But generally what I find is when it's not filtered, you get a little bit more of the tannins coming through. There's a little bit more. Now when I say that, the tannins reminds me a little bit of the skins that are attached to it as well. There's more of that kind of, there's a little bit more of a bite to it. Definitely that base apple flavour. Fucking surprise, but there's just a bit more depth to it as opposed to just plain straight up apple juice that you might actually buy. And a lot of the apple juice that you buy might be, it's clear, it's filtered. A lot of it might actually come from concentrate as well. So for this one, we are actually using unfiltered cider. Of course, again, as I was saying there, cider is, for some of the viewers here, no, it's not Strongbow, it's not any of the like Bulmers or any of the ciders like that. They're not those filtered alcoholic fermented ciders. It's just straight up. Now you do get alcoholic versions of this, but we're just sticking with plain old apple juice. What are the flavours that we want? Well, there's a few of these apple cider cocktails that you can see out there, but a lot are like based. It's gin, tequila. Actually, the tequila one actually has got me. I'm interested in trying that one, but some of them are a little bit more of the let's say the white spirits. But for this, want something a little bit heavier, and I'm going to go with a bourbon here. Now, I'm sure you could try a whiskey or a rum or anything as the base here, but what we're going to use is we are actually going to use a bourbon. And for this one, it's actually 2 ounces of bourbon for each cocktail. I'm making 2, as I normally do. If there's anybody in the house, they get to drink it. If there's nobody else in the house, then I get to drink both of them. So it's going to be 2 ounces for each one. So that's going to be 4 ounces of bourbon. And we're going to use the Angel's Envy here. I quite like this bourbon. Said before, somebody had left this in a location where I actually worked. Usually when you see people leaving stuff in a kitchen where you work, you're like, it can't be that great. And cracked it open and it's quite a nice bourbon. So, but any bourbon will do the job for you. So that's our base spirit. We're going to use bourbon. Then we have 1 ounce of our unfiltered apple juice or cider. So that's 2 ounces we're going to throw in here, 1 ounce each for that. Now we need a little bit of citrus to actually cut through that as well. You always need, there's a lot, when you actually look at the codex or the algorithm that's used to create cocktails, a lot of them don't have citrus, and there's many cocktails that, as I said, they don't have it. There's a few quite people out there with a perspective around about the purist aspect where you shouldn't be putting any juice or citrus in them. But in many cases you'll find that the citrus actually helps cut through any of the sweetness or any of the other flavours, and it actually brightens it as well. So what we have here is we've got 3/4 of an ounce, sorry, I've got an itchy neck tonight, I don't know what it is. We've got 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice already, so that's 1.5 in total, but 3/4 for each one. Alright, we haven't really hit any of the flavours yet that we actually think about. Well, we've got apple in there, that's certainly part of the fall. 2 children, 1 dog, out in the orchard picking your apples, you know, just prancing around there gaily. And then you come out with your bag of apples, half of them raw, half of them you turn into an apple pie, half of them you eat. Maybe somebody eats too many, throw up as well. But generally, it's actually a good experience. So certainly go for it. What we have here though is vanilla syrup. Now what I did here is it's actually simple syrup, 1 to 1 ratio sugar and water. So that's, let's say, 1 cup or I don't know, 4 fluid ounces or something. Just basically the equivalent volume of water to sugar. Dissolve it, and then a little bit of vanilla syrup, vanilla essence went into this as well. So this is actually half an ounce of vanilla syrup for each one. So that was 1 ounce that went in there. So you're bringing up a little bit of the sweetness as well. So you got that in there. Bit of Benedictine. So Benedictine is it's a herbal liqueur. Adds a little bit of grassiness to this. I already had get this lid off this one. There we go. I haven't quite finished this bottle, so I've got this other one here. So it's going to be it's only a 1/4 ounce of Benedictine. So that is going to be a ½ ounce in total that we actually put in. That's it. Just a hint of that French liqueur going in there. Alright, that's in there. There's going to be a couple of more flavours going into this, but we're going to build it, we're going to shake this and chill this as it stands just now. We're going to add the balance of flavours at the end. Okay, so ice in here. A little bit more. Now remember, actually I'll shake it up first and I'll tell you the story in a second actually, hold on. So we'll get this, shake it up and get this chilled down, slightly diluted. Whoa, chilled. So actually I remember that my wife, she made an apple pie, and of course back Scotland, Ireland, anywhere like that, you want to use, when we're baking apple pies, you generally use like Bramleys. Bramleys can be very difficult to get over here in the US. People use Granny Smiths as a replacement. It's actually a pretty piss poor replacement for a Bramley. A Granny Smith is still a little bit too sweet, and it doesn't have the same texture, whereas a Bramley is very, very, very good for a pie, and it's very, very sour as well. So it means that you can actually balance you can balance the sugar very well as you're making it. So it's not you can add as much sugar as you want without the sweetness of the apple taking over. It basically just means you can control it more. The Granny Smith is actually still quite a sweet apple in retrospect to the Bramley. And my wife had made an apple pie, and she took it around to somebody's house, and a kid that was American, surprise, surprise, actually tasted the pie and said, "Oh, you know what? This isn't very good." And why? Because it wasn't sweet. You know what? It was packed with flavour. It was packed with apple flavour. It just wasn't as sweet as what is used to over here. And I think that's I've covered this in a few places. Let me just fucking explain. Sugar is not a flavouring, right? Sugar is a sweetener. Balance it out. Treat that as a sweetener. It doesn't flavour things. It just kind of adds a little bit of that wanton feeling to a dessert, but don't, or anything at all. But don't treat it as don't treat it as a flavouring, please, please, please. And that's why in cocktails, you'll see sometimes they can be way, way too sweet, and some people really like them, and they think that is good flavour, and it's not good flavour at all. It's actually pretty piss poor flavour, and what they're actually doing is they are drowning out the very good flavours by making them sickly sweet. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now and we'll start moving on with the cocktail. Alright, we've got that shaken. We have a couple of our rocks glasses here. What we're going to do is we're going to put more ice into these. And then go. We're going to strain this one out into each one. There we go. And it has got that great autumn colour, it does. The apple, the bourbon and everything. And even the lemon juice itself adds that colour. A little bit of the Benedictine in there as well. Okay, what did I say about the rest of the flavours? Well, here we go. Our garnish. Cinnamon. I remember I used to try and smoke these things. That's stupid. But garnish with a cinnamon stick. There we go. Ah, that one went in. And apple starts to turn brown unless you actually... A good way to stop your apples turning brown is put them in lemon juice. That will deal with it. Slice of apple. Just to boost it up there. And then the final touch is nutmeg. So freshly grated nutmeg. Just an easy thing. There you go. Little nutmeg there. Get that over the top. Don't need too much. Be quite strong. Get more nutmeg over the bar here. There we go. That is our cider lowball. And what a great way it comes together actually at the end there. Look at all the ingredients they put in there, but then with the garnish, cinnamon, nutmeg and apple on this end. Oh my goodness. Shall we try this one? Is it going to taste like Mum's apple pie? Let's see. Mmm. Wow. Oh. So, the bourbon isn't lost. It's there. There's a few of the cider cocktails that I've seen where there's been a little bit more of that fruitiness has been added. And you're going to lose, basically that bourbon or whatever the spirit is going to get watered down too much. Not with this. It's there, definitely. Of course, you've got the apple. Benedictine. Just a little bit that herbal coming through there. It's actually, it gives a little bit more body to it as well. So it's not just thin, like just thin bourbon and apple juice. There's actually more depth to it, those herbal flavours coming through. And then the vanilla, a little bit of the nutmeg. And then you get the smell of the cinnamon as you're actually drinking it. I wouldn't say it's Mom's apple pie, but it has great fall flavours to it. This is a really, really good one. I would, again, this is one that, it's the first time I've tried it, and it's absolutely delicious. So if you're looking for a good fall cocktail, this one you can't go wrong with, definitely. And you might even try it, you know, I used I used ice cubes in there. You could maybe even try a king cube as well to control a little bit of the dilution. But this actually works very, very well. Alright, everybody. Welcome to the fall. The brisk weather. And enjoy your cider lowballs. Cheers.